Okay, so today we will be going over the light emission spectrum. Okay, so let's start with a real-world example. So, when you're heating a metal bar, color turns from red to orange to yellow. In other words, light is like being emitted from this metal bar. But how and why does this happen? So, let's start from the beginning first. Each element has its own unique light emission spectrum. Over here. The light emission spectrum can be used to identify an element similar to how you can identify a person with their fingerprint. Scientists can actually identify elements that make up a star over here by getting the emission spectra from the light given off, which is pretty cool. Okay, but we still have not answered the question from before. Why, when heated, does a metal bar change colors? So, Niels Bohr answered this question with his model of the atom, or the shell model. He established that electrons exist in fixed orbits, meaning electrons can only exist in these orbits, but not anywhere in between, like floating around over here. He also argued that the energy of an electron was limited to certain values. This quantized electrons. So his model shows that an electron can only emit energy when jumping or transitioning, like this, from one orbit to another, specifically from like a higher energy orbit to a lower energy. It can also go from there to there. Okay. Let's look at the emission lines of the hydrogen spectrum. So, when jumping from an orbit or orbit 3 to orbit 2, it emits 656 nanometers of light energy. And you can see this as it increases. There we go. So as you can see, the wavelength of emitted light decreases, emitted light over here, decreases as energy increases. So shorter wavelength is more energy. Okay. So using this rule, we can assume that a shorter wavelength produces more energy. Here are the wavelengths shown from violet to red. So red has the longest wavelength, meaning it produces less energy over here. And violet has the shortest, meaning it produces more energy. So to finally answer the question, as the metal is being heated, over here, electrons get excited and start jumping orbitals. Then they start producing red light, but as more heat is added, the electrons jump bigger orbits, therefore producing yellow light. And of course an alarm went off right now, but okay, there it stopped. Okay, so that was pretty much the light emission spectra. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah.